Hi, it's Kirby.
And Dana.
From KJF-TravelAdventures, and we're on day 3 of our national park road trip. We're back in Grand Teton. And we're starting today at Jenny Lake. Let's go. So Jenny Lake is definitely the most popular easy-ish hike. So we've started here first, even though it's really not the first thing on the loop when you drive in, but then we're gonna backtrack, so.
And everything around here, including Cascade Canyon that we are going to, and Jenny Lake itself, were all naturally carved out from a glacier around 12,000 years ago. In the wintertime, this lake will freeze over, and the ice can get anywhere between 3 to 5 feet thick throughout the winter.
The shuttle across Jenny Lake was $20 per person round trip. No advanced reservations are required, and they do take credit cards. You can purchase a one-way shuttle option. I believe it was $12.
Because there are 2 hiking options to get around Jenny Lake. One is approximately 2.5 miles and the other is approximately 5 miles to get you to the starting point for the hike to Hidden Falls and Inspiration Point. Canyon, that's about 0.2 miles from the boat dock. We're continuing on. Exit from Cascade Creek onto Hidden Falls was temporarily delayed by mama cub and baby cub. Dana thinks I can't vlog and hike at the same time. She's worried I'm gonna fall.
And we've made it to Hidden Falls. It's called Hidden Falls because you can't see the waterfall until you are right at it. And we're continuing on towards Inspiration Point. As we got to Inspiration Point, we encountered another bear on the trail. Please, if you're going to Grand Teton, know what to do if there's a bear on the trail. There was one family in the area that did not know what to do, and their reactions put everyone who was in this area in danger.
Inspiration Point is very inspiring. We saw another bear, and now we're heading back to the boat dock.
The trail does continue beyond Inspiration Point, deeper into the wilderness, but that was more advanced and adventurous than we were looking to get into.
From the boat dock to the top of Inspiration Point and back was 1.5 miles round trip, and we gained 420-ish feet of elevation in that time. Took us about an hour. I tried to include footage of the trail as we were walking along so that you could make the determination if it's something that you'd be able to do. We did see people of all ages, including one woman who had a hip replacement and children on the trail, so it is doable, but it is an unsteady, gravelly surface with some steep inclines as you are going up and down. One thing to note, there are plenty of bathrooms at the Jenny Lake Visitor Center area, but once you cross the lake, there are no facilities on the hiking trails. Just keep that in mind. So we got to Jenny Lake parking area, I'd say 7:30, 7:45, and there were plenty of spots. It's now 10:30 and we're finishing up, and parking is at a premium. So if Jenny Lake is on your plan, get here early. We're at the Mount Moran turnout, and this just looks fake. So the Jenny Lake, Hidden Falls, and Inspiration Point hikes was like our main goal of the day. Got that done. Now we're driving the interior road. We're gonna go basically all the way up to where we did in yesterday's vlog, and then turn around and drive the road back and stop at a few more things. Let's go. Driving up Signal Mountain now to some viewpoints. So we're at the Jackson Lake overlook.
Is a large hill that rises about 1,000 feet higher than the valley floor. It's important enough that it's not just a hill, but goes by the name of Signal Mountain. This is one of the best places where we can get long, sweeping views of Jackson Hole's valley. You'll understand why the early trappers who first trekked into here called it a hole, and how the mountains feel like they totally surround it.
We went as far up as Signal Mountain, and now we're making our way back down along that same interior road, and we've taken the Jenny Lake Scenic Loop. As there's been some snowmelt when you visit, you can see glaciers nesting in between some of the Teton peaks. We're taking a side quest on Meaners Ferry Road to look at the Church of the Transfiguration. Back at the Craig Thomas Visitor Center. We swung by here yesterday, but we didn't really explore, so back to explore today. So far, this is the only moose we've seen. But we have seen some bears already. These markers on the floor of the visitor center align with which peak you're looking at out the window and include the elevation. First moose sighting of the trip, appropriately enough, driving along the narrow road known as Moose Wilson Road.
The Laurence S. Rockefeller Preserve, or the LSR for short. It's a special place designed to provide you an immersive and more personal experience with the natural surroundings. The more than 1,000 acres of land and center were donated by the Rockefeller family.
Alright, we stopped on Moose Wilson Road at the Laurence S. Rockefeller Preserve. Guide along told us that this whole sort of reserve visitor center is designed to invoke solitude. So the parking lot is very, very small on purpose. And if you go in a busy time, you might have to wait to park in a spot and join the visitor center. And then there's a bunch of trails that go off from here. We aren't prepared for any major hiking, but there's an overlook and a waterfall that's about 0.1 miles away, so we're going to check that out. Those scenic overlooks were super close, basically 0.1 miles there, 0.1 miles back. Alright, how was your second day in Grand Teton?
So everything is gorgeous. Our walk to Hidden Falls, or our boat ride on Jenny Lake, and then our walk to Hidden Falls, and then to Inspiration Point. I keep wanting to say Inspiration Falls, and then that inspires me to go deeper and deeper into the jungle. But was really cool. Like, it's
Incredible.
Gorgeous, but we also saw 3 bears.
We saw a mom.
Yep.
And a baby.
And another adult. We don't know.
Yeah.
So it was a little like amazing and a little scary at the same time.
Yeah, and not that we took any of the be bear aware lightly.
No.
But people did. So if you were coming, make sure you know what to do. Get bear spray. Understand what it is you do when you see a bear or any other wildlife, but especially a bear in your path. Know what you have to do.
Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, there's no way. So Hidden Falls and Inspiration Point is literally the most popular place in all of Grand Teton. It's the most popular hike. We're like, it's gonna be full of people, there's no way. That's where we saw the bears. So they're anywhere. Just be bear aware and know what to do.
Yep.
Speaking of Jenny Lake, if that is your plan, be there for the first couple boats. So we got there at like 7:30, and I know I've said this all, but I'm gonna tell you again because it is very important. When we got there at 7:30, we got a great parking spot. We were on like the second boat. When we left at 10:30, maybe, the parking lot was full. The road to the parking lot was full, and people were starting to park on the road.
Yes.
When we left, again, like the park totally after 3 o'clock, I would say for at least a half a mile in both directions on the road before you got to the road that led to the parking lot were cars. So it's insane.
It's the most popular.
So go early if it's what you want to do.
Yeah. It's
And-
worth it
yeah.
to get early.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And don't sleep on Moose Wilson Road. That's where we saw our moose. Anything else?
Nope.
I'm Kirby.
I'm Dana.
From KJF-TravelAdventures. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notified when all of our new videos drop.
Bye.
Bye.